What's up, everyone? My name is Schulten, and today I have great news. We got a new monster in a new area, and a new kind of mission, I guess. New weapons, new armor. We got the whole shebang again, and so soon after the addition of Devil Joe. So you know how I said that I was a little afraid that Capcom weren't gonna dish out content fast enough for us. I think they decided to double down and go a little faster with their plans, which is awesome. Because I was definitely starting to feel, the Monster Hunter fatigue, but with a new monster, new event, new map, new stuff to grind for, it's really reviving the whole game. So what you want to do, first of all, if you want to access, the new monster, Kulve, and the new siege mode, which I will explain a little later on, all you gotta do is go to an expedition. Don't try to look for it as an event quest or a special assignment. That's not what it is. All you gotta do, go on an expedition in Ancient Forest. You go to this area here, Area 1, and all you gotta look for is a little mountain of gold. And from there on out, you're done. You just have to leave, and you're gonna start, the whole quest. You're gonna get access immediately to the siege, which is great. So here you go. You see the little mountain of gold right here. You just investigate it, and here you go. You're free to leave. You now have access to siege mode, which is great. Because going in, I was kind of afraid, are we gonna have to find tracks again and research it and waste time when really all we want to do is fight this new monster and get its gear? And so and I was also afraid, like, are we gonna get the weird thing where we have to each watch the cutscenes on their own, and then we leave, and then we can start it all. But there's none of that bullshit here. So you get this little cutscene here, which I will skip the dialogue because I just don't really care for the story. I just want to fight this thing. But yeah, you get this little cutscene, then you're brought into the Gathering Hub. You get a little tutorial on how Siege mode basically works. So basically what is Siege is it's a 16-player instance where you're all going to be coming into the Gathering Hub, and this is the only area where you can start the siege. If you try to speak to a handler, if you go to a mission post in Estera, you're not going to get access to the little siege icon in the menu. So you have to be in the Gathering Hub, which is great because, I mean, the Gathering Hub really needs some love. I mean, this is the first time in this game that I went to the Gathering Hub and it was freaking full, and I was just so glad that we can finally just have something that actually brings us together and makes us interact with each other. Not a lot of people use mics. I didn't use any mics for this, because I just like playing Monster Hunter. I usually play with my girlfriend Narissa, and we're usually sitting right next to each other, so we don't like using mics because it's a little awkward because I have to mute her, she has to mute me, but then if I record the whole thing, it kind of fucks up the whole process. So we just tend to not use it. So here you go. You have the Taroth Siege. And pretty much what it does is you're not going to be 16 manning this monster all at once. What it is actually is 4 squads of 4 players. You post your own, or you join someone else's, and pretty much the way you have to beat it is you have to break its parts. And so since the monster is really tough, it's probably going to take you more than one instance. I've pretty much, you're going to see an instance where we're kind of used to the whole thing, and we're able to kill it in our second go, which is the one I'm going to show because you get to see all the phases. But usually first time, it took me 3 tries to actually, because you have to break the horns. That's how you win. You break the horns, Taroth leaves, and that's it. But getting to break the horns is, where you have to work. So you the way I see it is you don't have to be perfectly timed. You don't have to start all the instances at the same time. What it'll do is it'll kind of register the progress everyone is making on their own, and then apply it, you know, when you're fighting. I guess at certain points, if another team breaks parts, well, it's gonna tell you like, okay, objective complete by another team, broke this part here. And we get the new map, which is, you know, this big ass golden tunnel. And we get Taroth, which is a she, apparently. And really, I mean, she's just marvelous. She's awesome. She has this big golden coat that you have to chip away at. And what's great is she's a monster that has really 3 actual phases, you know, so it's like, it's not even my final form. But yeah, so in this instance here, what you're gonna see is, you know, I've already taken food and all that, is this is our second go. So we already did the level 1. So usually how it goes is you'll do your level 1, where you start off with no scout flies. Every time you finish a siege, like every time you break the horns, it's gonna reset the whole thing, and you always start with no scout flies, you know, no information, and so you kind of have to, you know, find it again. And that's why, you know, the first time you go in, you're gonna break some parts, but you're not gonna break them as fast as the second time. Every time you beat Taroth, it increases the siege level. And I think the max is 6, which should take you, like, with 4 good teams, it shouldn't take you more than 2 tries. Like, first try to, you know, get your research in and get it weaker, because as it gets to, you know, a higher level, like at level 6, you know, like, parts break more often and more easily. And so you get, you know, this first phase where she's a little more passive. She's just, you know, making her way through the tunnels, and you just kind of chip away at her coat at this point, just, you know, trying to break parts as often as you can. And, you know, like, at first I was doing this phase, and I was like, you know, is that it? Is that all there is to it? Because I find, like, I'm not taking any damage. Is this like she's just gonna walk, and it's just a DPS check where she's just basically reduced to a training dummy, where if you do enough damage and break enough parts, you win, and if you don't, well, too bad, you didn't really die and didn't really lose any items, so who cares? But no, she actually does put up a fight, but I was kind of worried at first. I was like, nothing's actually happening here. So yeah, first phase is just, you know, breaking the coat here and there, and just, you know, getting some damage in. It's really when she starts fighting back that the fight becomes a highlight, especially since, as you can see with the size of that thing, it does create one of those fights where you have to be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to be caught in a corner. And she also hits like a freaking truck, and she has one of the worst AoEs I've ever seen. She just like shoots lava on the ground, and it's like, it kind of catches you off guard, because you kind of stand there, you're not really taking any damage. You're like, okay, that's kind of fine, I'm on fire, but I'm not really getting any weaker. And then you see your health start going down, and you're like, oh my god. Like, these are like max potion moments if you don't realize what is going on fast enough. So she does have that power. She can one-hit kill you. She can if she doesn't want to kill you, you won't be too far. I wouldn't say that she's at the challenge level of Tempered Devil Joe, because I definitely think that she's a little easier to manage than him, but that's probably because of her size. So she's not, you know, as fast as Devil Joe is, you know, where he's completely relentless. She does give you a little more breathing room, but man, that AoE, when you see it, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. And so yeah, you just that's the whole point. It's just breaking parts. You're not trying to kill it. You can't kill it. All you have to do is break the horns. What I'm thinking though is probably what's gonna happen is, like, right now we are getting the siege where we have to weaken it. And you'll see at that last phase when she loses the golden coat that, you know, she does have way more fight into her. And what I'm thinking is probably what's going to happen is later on we might get an instance where we start off with a Kulve without the golden coat, or maybe with, I don't really care, but you know, one where we actually have to kill it. I feel like that's going to be something. Oh, that fire breath. That fire breath's range is pretty darn impressive, and it does come at you pretty fast. So do watch that. Obviously, I'm wearing part breaker armor since we're not trying to do damage; we're trying to break parts. So I do recommend you have at least one or two of your melees having part breaker. I believe this helps a whole lot with this fight. And here you go. 2 hits and I'm already super low on health. Good thing I have max potion. Do bring your potions. It's gonna save your life. I also brought grinder because I only have 2 points in handicraft on this set, so you know, grinder is kind of a must. So yeah, one area you do want to focus on, and the handler will tell you this, is the chest. You know, you get these two. Well, I mean, they kind of look like golden boobies when you think about it, but yeah, you just gotta break those, I guess. You know, but whatever. The important part is we got a new monster, like fairly fast after the new monster, that Devil Joe. And then, you know, we got, like, we're getting, it's a good time to play Monster Hunter World these days, you know. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I was kind of feeling the Monster Hunter fatigue these days, and so I went back to, you know, play other games a little bit, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're getting a little tired of a game, take a break. Don't burn yourself off. You know, I took a break, and then, you know, my girlfriend got the announcement. Yeah, Capcom is so fast with every time they announce something, it's like right around the corner. So you know, you have just enough time to get hyped, but not enough that it, like, not so long that the hype actually dies down and you don't care anymore. Like, by the time I knew about Kulve, I was like, wow, that's awesome. And it's like, well, yeah, basically we're gonna fight it tomorrow. Like, that's how fast they are. And here you go, she loses the golden coat. And then this is where you really start fighting the real Kulve. You know, she's a lot faster. Kind of reminding me of, you know, Great Jagras. Now she's gonna go to another area, and that's it. Every phase is kind of a DPS check, from what I can understand. Where if you break enough things, she's gonna go to the next area, and the next area, and the next area. And I mean, the map is just simply gorgeous. I love everywhere that has lava in this game. Looks freaking amazing. Here you go. That's the AoE I was talking about. I mean, look at this. If you're standing in this and you're not fast enough, you're gonna die. It's gonna leave you with that little sliver of health, but you're gonna be burning. And if you're not fast enough on your items, you're just going down. And here you go, you bring her on the ground and then you just chip away at those horns, because that's the only thing that matters. I will say, in this instance, we were like fairly fast on breaking parts, and so we do go through this phase fairly fast, because the first few times I did it at this phase, she would still have her golden coat. And she'd remove it on that last area, so I mean, definitely shows that part breaker's working. You know, we're getting way faster times with it than without it.
Now get out there and show us how it's done.
And here you go. That's the final phase where, you know, you either break the horns or she runs away. But if you get to this phase, I mean, you should be able to kill it. Well, kill it. Break the horns. It shouldn't be too much of a trouble. You know, just focus the legs. Here you go. That freaking AOE. You can see I'm on fire, and like, just the area it covers is ridiculous. Like, if you're stunned in there, you're done. That's it. I hope to pray to God that your friends brought life powders, which, you know, if you're far enough into the game that you're, you know, doing this siege, you probably should have life powders. Then again, I wouldn't put Taroth in, you know, tempered Devil Joe or tempered Kirin levels. She's not that hard. But she's definitely a nice new challenge, you know, simply with the size and everything. Like, we do get Xeno'jiiva, but I feel like the Xeno'jiiva is, fight is a little more passive. Like, you're only attacking the hands, really, and every now and then you get a hit on the chest plate or on its head. But I don't feel like Xeno'jiiva really feels like an actual fight. I don't feel like he's actually, you know, fighting you. You're more of an annoyance to him, whereas with Taroth, you're actually fighting her, right? And you can see these big damage numbers. I'm not even running, you know, this is a fairly basic setup. I mean, this is like a level 4 attack boost, level 3 part breaker, level 3 health boost, level 2 maximum might, level 3 weakness exploit, and level 3 grinder. That's what I have also. That's pretty much the setup. I might do a little video where I show off this setup, since it should work with any weapon. Here we go. I go for a sharpen and it's like bam, no more horns. So here you go, around 10 minutes and it's over. So with 2 tries, should take you about, you know, it takes about 15 minutes for her to leave in the first try. So, you know, it's a 25-minute commitment. You get some new awesome armor, and don't forget to carve the horns. I mean, you work so hard for these. So yeah, you carve the horns and you get a chance at, you know, the new weapons, which I will talk about in another video. You know, all the new gear that we get. You know, the armor set. The armor set is really freaking good. Like, the chest piece gives you level 2 crit, like the alpha gives you level 2 crit boost and level 2 stun resistance with a level 1 jewel slot. I mean, this basically, and you know, crit boost is one of the best skills in the game right now. So I mean, there's a new meta coming and this chest piece is gonna be everywhere. I'm already almost done farming for it. I just need a Kushala gem and then I'm done. I can do the chest piece. Really hoping to becoming a guy again. Capcom, give us a chance to, you know, change our characters again. I will pay for that. But I saw what the male armor looks like and I'm just in love. I just want it so bad. So please, Capcom, just let me be a dude again. Here we go. Around 11 minutes. Definitely a fun fight. You know, what do you guys think of this new event? Are you satisfied? Do you think Capcom could have done more? I feel like this is more than I asked for. So I'm really glad with it. I just gotta see, you know, I didn't really get any amazing weapons right now, but we'll have to see. Only time will tell.